Okay, hi everybody, it's Adam Southend Guy. Welcome back to my channel. This is my weekly vlog update. So just saying hello, how you doing? On tonight's one, I'm just going to discuss like this weekend's events, and also I am going to go through my equipment. No comments, please. And yeah, I'm just going to talk you through all the bits and pieces I've got, how much it costs, and so on, so you can get an idea on how my setup was got going, and you know what the sort of prices it entails. So yeah, first and foremost, I'm just going to mention thank you again to all my followers. Now, when I started this, my channel had about 30 followers at the start of the year. You know, I was posting the odd video, which if some of you have gone back over my history, you've probably seen as, you know, stuff to do with the shakedown and, you know, my own bikes and so on. And then I got into doing the paranormal ghost hunting stuff, and I've gone from 30 odd subscribers to, I think it was 86 at my last count, but I'm just going to double check in case I've had any more since. And we are on, yeah, still on 86. So I've tripled my numbers, but I was on a low starting point. So slowly catchy monkey. You know, I hope I'll hit 100 before long and see if we can push on from there. So that's it. Yeah, we're getting there. Secondly, this weekend, well, particularly last night, I managed to get out with the guys from Essex Paranormal, which is the guys that I was out with last night were Adam and Rob, who've been doing sterling work on their channel. I will drop a link to Essex Paranormal in the description, so you can go and check them guys out yourself. They're great fun. They do some really good content, and they do find some interesting results. So yeah, go and check those guys out. Well, I had the privilege of joining up with them for Sunday night's ghost hunt, which was over Cold Christmas Church. It's up near Ware in Hertfordshire, so it's a bit further out than where I normally go, but it was well worth it. There was a lot of activity there, and definitely have to go back. And yeah, it was a real privilege, and it was good fun to join up with Adam and Rob on that one, and we're looking forward to do some more bits and pieces. So stay tuned and keep with this channel, keep with their channel, and yeah, and you'll see what comes. That's all I can say at the moment. I've mentioned one or two sites that I need to close up, which the you know, hopefully you can join in with. One of them does involve the COVID restrictions to be lifted, admittedly. Well, it doesn't, but you'll see what I mean when we get there. And I've got one or two other places that need closing up, which will be ideal. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So anyway, that being that, what I'm going to do next is talk you through the different bits of equipment. Show you where I started from when we done our first ghost hunt, which you remember that way back was Cash's Well. Literally all I had was that, which is my K2 meter. Okay. Which is really good. That was £20. Okay, and that's excellent. It is sensitive in a good and a bad way. The equipment's just designed to do a job, but occasionally you can get false readings, as you've noticed, if like there happens to be a phone nearby and that sort of thing. But yeah, that's proved its worth. So that's that, £20. The next up I've got is the Necrophonic Spirit Box app, which is there. Now this is my old phone. I'm currently recording off of my Nokia 9, which is what I used to do a live broadcast from. This is not Necrophonic, which I think you've seen, and it's gone quiet. So yeah, that was that. That's £8 off of Google Play, and obviously it's on iOS as well. The app is also on my Nokia 9, so if I get stuck with this phone for whatever reason, I can run it on that one there. So yeah, those are the first two bits of ghost hunting equipment that I brought into usage. So next up after that, dowsing rods. Now, as you've seen, since I've been using these have been brilliant. They're a pretty accurate way of communicating, and they're very, very simple, as you've seen in my videos. And yeah, all they are is they're copper wires in copper sleeving. Okay, so when you hold them out, as so on. Okay, where are you going? So yeah, you hold them out, and that's how you do it. But you've got, because they're in copper sleeving, you've literally you've got very little influence on how they move. Okay, so you just need to keep steady and calm. They will do their thing when you ask questions. But those were, I think I paid £12 for them. They go between £10 and £20, but I personally would say possibly get them that are a bit longer, possibly. Some of the guys that I've seen do use longer ones. Having said that, they work perfectly. Yeah, that's how they were about 12 quid. But yeah, they can go from that sort of price upwards, really. Depends on what you want to pay. So again, that's quite inexpensive. So £12, 20 quid, that was 8 quid. Alright, so those are those bits. So the next stuff that we have is my REM pod, which is that. Okay. Again, I think that's £20 to £30. I think they've probably seen the more expensive ones when you've been onto other ghost hunting sites. They're sort of £80 upwards. Yeah, they're quite funky, but they all essentially do the same job. So if I'm to switch that on, you can see that it lights, it makes a noise. Yeah, that's just because I'm standing near it, that's why. Okay, so that's that. That was £20, £30, within that price range. I mean, all this stuff is available on eBay and the Bezos site, Amazon. That is essentially the equipment I use for doing the ghost hunting. Actually, I will go on to the next app before I go on to my recording equipment. So the next app is Ghost Tube. Okay, which is that one. Now this is like an all-in-one device. You've got like an EMF meter there, a magnometer, and it's also got like a novulus in that anything can manipulate the sounds and words that's in here to try and communicate with us. There's a particularly good episode from Mindset TV where they was looking through the diary of this girl that died, and she was literally speaking for us to tell them to stop doing it. It was really good. But there we go. That app there was £15. That is the most recent app I bought. And they've also got an additional app to this, and it's called an SLS app. Now, it works in the same principle as the SLS camera does if you're going for the Kinect and tablet route. Works on the same principle. And if I do, who is it? Oh, he's gone. Okay, 2 seconds. Right. So I'll just come out of that for a minute. My magnometer's just gone up. So if we go to Ghost Tube SLS, which is that one. Okay, and you're not going to see anything, but what that does, it just picks up the shape of a person, whether they're alive or not, and it will turn that person into a stick figure. So you'll see, like, say there was a spirit there. Okay, it will pick it up and it will make a stick, because that's what it reads. It just turns you into a stick man, so it can follow your body movements. So that's that. The app itself is free, but it is limited, so you can only record for like 10 seconds. But I think the app itself, if you do want to have everything that's there, I think it's like $11.99 a year. So if you want to go that route, there we go. So those are pretty much everything I use for actual hunting. So then we move on to camera gear. First and foremost, I'm going to start with my camera, which is that. It's a little GoPro 3 Plus Black. Now, I didn't actually buy this with the intention of going ghost hunting, because I got this back in Christmas last year. I'd actually gone to Cash Converters to find a cheap microphone, because I just bust the one that I was using for DJing. So I just popped in and said anything. I didn't, but I happened to see that sitting in a case along with a Newmark Mix Track Pro MIDI controller, which I've kind of been after another one for my DJ work. Back when I've been DJing, hope to get back to it, but that's another story. So yeah, I walked in for a mic. I came out with my Mix Track Pro, and I came out with that. That little device there, the 3 Plus Black. I know they're a little bit old hat now, because I think we're to GoPro 9, something like that. That actually cost me £40, which is a really good deal. It was literally as it is with a couple of cables. That was it. But being as I've had action cameras for years, I've got a lot of the all the accessories and everything. So all I was interested in was a camera. If you want to find a 3 Plus Black, just check out the Cash Converters website, see if anything comes up. CEX as well. Whether you'll get one for 40 quid, I don't know, because the cheapest I've seen them has been about 45, 50, so you may have to pay a little bit more, but really good value for money. So that's the camera. Next up is this. It's like a selfie stick, but it's kind of all in one. I'll show you why, because you can extend it. Okay, like that, lock it out. And then unlock it back down again, so it's great for just walking around and filming. If you want to put it down somewhere static, I've now got 2 of these, but there's like a little built-in tripod which you can use. It's a little bit flimsy, granted, so you have to be careful when you put it down, because along with the camera, obviously I've got my lights and the microphone as well, which I'll go on to in a minute, but there we go. So that little thing there, I think it was like £11. Okay. I now have 2 of those, as I've managed to build up my camera equipment itself. So next up, just a little tripod on its own. I actually bought that, I think I bought that first. Now, it actually makes a really good handle for carrying around. It's quite sturdy, metal's nice, and it would just like fold out to however you want it, as a little tripod, or works great with this, because that unscrews, you put that on the bottom instead, and it gives it a much more sturdy base. So if I've got more weight up top, that's a great thing to use. So that, yeah, again, that's about a tenner. So next up is this little doobie. That was a £5, I think. That goes on there, okay. That go in there with its little camera mounting at the bottom. Okay, so your camera goes on top, which you've probably seen from my videos at points. So the camera goes on top like that. Okay. Yeah, as I say, that was a £5. And then we go on to the lights. Now I bought these first of all. Alright, these were like a tenner each. And they work off of AA's. I've got a battery charger down there and a whole host of other rechargeable batteries, so that's never a problem. So we can make sure you charge them up before you go out. So yeah, they were tenner each. Now we go on the side like that. Camera on top. Okay. Obviously I've got none of this screwed in, so it's going to be moving around a bit. So there we go. That's that. Next up was a microphone. Now this does have a little sock on it as well normally, but that's in like when I pack it all away, they will get separated and everything. That little thing was 15 quid. There's a great little directional mic. Okay, it's not. You get a little bit of noise that comes through with it, but normally not noticeable really. And that would go on the bottom there. Okay, like that. And then it just hooks in with a little adapter to the GoPro. So there you go, that's the rig that I pretty much started out with. so you know what's there, how much it will cost. Oh, by the way, just going back to the microphone, they run off a little AAA in there, and you can see I've got a on and then 20 dB boost, and that is really handy. That little booster really works. The next set of lights. Now, I've since bought these ones. They're a bit more controllable. They have a low and a high setting. There's not a lot of difference between them, to be honest. But these ones are themselves rechargeable, and lo and behold, that was the same price. It was £20 for the pair. The other good thing you can have about these is you can actually, well, they've got slots, as you can see all around. You can, if you wanted to, I mean, if you wanted to light up somewhere like Piccadilly Circus, you could, you see what I mean? Yeah. So, yeah, my new rechargeable one's £20. It's the latest night I've just bought. This is £20 as well. Takes 4 hours, you see. I just use rechargeables. And there's a reason for that. It's because I've now repurposed 2 older cameras. Well, they're older phones, but they were lying in my box doing nothing, which I've talked about before. And I thought, well, rather than fork out for a new camera, the cameras on the old Lumias are really good. So, this is my old Lumia, my old 930. Okay, now Windows. I'm sure you'll remember the Windows phones. That's actually got the Camera Pro app on at the moment. Now that was an extra app I had to buy for this phone, but it was £3.50. Okay, the reason being, yeah, Camera Pro or something it was called, but it was £3.50. The reason I bought this app is because the second microphone that I bought didn't work. No, Pro Shot. That's what the app's called, Pro Shot. The next microphone I bought didn't work with the standard camera app, so I had to get an aftermarket camera app for an external microphone to work. But that's that. So there we go. That's pretty much it. Now, as I said, there is one other piece which I'm going to go on to, but I have to take the phone out of the holder to show you, which is a second tripod, but it's a sturdy tripod, but you'll see what I mean. And then this is like a proper backup. This is an old Lumia 1020. It's still got Windows 8 on it. Now, I've heard I can upgrade it to Windows 10, but it's mucking around with the flashing and all sorts, and whether I want to do that, I don't know. But it's a great backup camera. The camera itself was actually 41 megapixel, and I'm trying to work a way in which I can include that into being used. But yeah, that's that one. The little external speaker you've heard me use. That was £3.50 from Home Bargains. Now it's got, you can have it Bluetooth, you can have it wired. You know, it's up to you. But yeah, that's that. So yeah, just the last thing I'm going to go on to. As I said, I'm going multi-camera now, and that did involve getting another tripod. Okay, so there we go. This is the other tripod. That was actually a £5 from Cash Converters. So you see what I mean? That stuff, if you look around, you can get some good stuff for not a lot of money. Again, I've got another clamp, you know, because you notice I've got 4 lights, so that'll be like boom boom. And on top of there, because it's not a GoPro, I'm using a mobile phone camera. There's a little springy thing. I bought a few of these, they're a few quid each. There we go. Alright, okay, so there we go, that's all the gear. The only other thing obviously you can't see is because I'm recording off of it, but I'll share a picture of a Nokia 9. The reason to become clear because of the camera settings this thing's got. Yeah, the Nokia 9, which is what I'm working off of now, that's obviously, apart from being my mobile phone, it's one I use for streaming, and you've seen how good quality it all comes through. I know that's dependent on your, you know, on your signal, but it's got a really good high quality camera, and so when you see the pictures, you see what how the setup is. So yeah, that's used for my streaming. It's also got the same ghost apps that my old Nokia 8's got. Plus, I can also use this as a backup camera if any of the others fail to work. So if the Lumia 930 packs up, the GoPro runs out, I've got this as yet another backup, which is what I had to use at Cold Christmas Church last night. And yeah, it done the job. So there we go, that's everything. Once again, to Adam and Rob, much thanks for joining you. It was a great night, and we will do something again. So I've got a couple of things in the pipeline, and we'll have a chat about that. So there we go. Thanks everyone. If you haven't been to my channel before, subscribe. Look at all the content I put up. Obviously it's mainly paranormal. There's other bits and pieces as well. I'm hoping to start doing road tests. I did my first one with the Africa Twin. And I've sort of talked about my own bikes as well. I've yet to do one about my car. But yeah, there'll be that sort of thing on there. Yeah, have a look, fill your boots, like what you see, and promote, if you can pass my channel on, I'll be very happy. Thank you very much once again. See you next time. Bye bye. Oh, and one last thing. The episode for this Thursday, we are looking for the Red Monk at the Holy Cross Church in Basildon. So stay tuned and look forward to that one. See you again. Thank you.